Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM20 Career Episode 138. Man, oh man, that is making me feel old. The series has been going on so long now. Already 138 episodes. It's really starting to add up fast. Speaking of episodes, so here's the new layout for weekly PCM content. And the reason for the change, well, my new Zwift series, me cycling, is getting underway this coming week. Alright, so here's what to expect for it. This series, Career Mode, 3 episodes per week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Champion Series, 3 episodes per week, coming every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Women's Tour is cutting back to once per week, every Sunday. That is still 7 days of PCM content every week, but that's going to help free things up just a little bit. One of my FM days is also going to back off to make room. My Zwift series is going to feature every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And you hear it first here. For the first time, I'm going to be launching Patreon account, and there's going to be opportunities for social rides on Zwift in the future, in addition to some other content. So looking forward to a few minor things, new things coming to the channel. Really excited by the fact that I have now doubled the size of the channel in less than a year. After it took 2.5 years to get to 1,000 subscribers, it took me less than an additional year, 10 months, to double that and get to 2,000. So channel's starting to come along, and the YouTube algorithm is still very, very, very unkind. I see this again and again. I've paid close attention to where others are in the grand scheme of things and how their channels progress, and especially those that are in the range that I'm in. And in 95% of the cases, those that have hit 2,000 or above, somewhere along the line, had a video get picked up by the algorithm and just get shot out to a large, wide audience. Now, I've had a few individual videos that have done well, but never, not once, have I had the algorithm actually pick up a video and really push it out there to expand my audience. I've had a few individual videos, like I said, that have done relatively well, but most of that has come through the search function or people who already know the channel and have been there. So the fact that I have clawed my way to that mark, to that type of audience, is a very rare thing to have the longevity to stick with it and still be out there and still be going without ever having the algorithm do its thing. I see it all the time. I was actually just watching a video of a cyclist yesterday. I couldn't name who it was. It was one of only 2 videos I've ever seen of theirs. But in that video, they were talking about how they hit 1,000 roughly the same time I did, right about a month. Now, they, just before that, and my Kinkus, why are you so far back? Why don't you be the one to get water then? Maybe because you were protecting Reykjavik and he had dropped back down to 61 in the Peloton at the moment, by the way. I did not see this cobbled section coming. They're not riding like they're on cobbles. My Kinkus still has not grabbed water. There he goes. Anyway, they hit 1,000 roughly the same time I did. Just before that, they were a good bit smaller. And they had a video that had been out for 2 years that had a total of 3,000 or 4,000 views in 2 years. That the algorithm suddenly picked up decided to push it, and through people who had never seen a video from this individual ever, had never searched them, had never, no reason to, the algorithm just picked it up, and almost overnight, within a few days, the video had 60,000-70,000 views from a couple thousand. So from that, they picked up another 3,000 to 4,000 subscribers virtually overnight, and the algorithm has been much more kind to that individual since then, and they're at 4,000 or 5,000 now. But that's a big jump. It's a very big jump. I still have not had that. So one of these days, the algorithm, I'm due. I'm long overdue for something along those lines. I'm not trying to brag in any way. I have a very small YouTube channel. But I know those of you that are here, this is a very loyal audience. You keep coming back. For one, my rate of subscribers watching videos is much higher than what is normal on YouTube, so there's a lot of people that are subscribed. Thank you. There are still quite a bit that are not. If you're 138 episodes in, I mean, come on, by now, even if you don't watch any of my other series, if you've gone through the bulk of 138 episodes, even if you've seen half, if you've seen 70 episodes of this series, and you still have not clicked subscribe, I mean, come on, please, please do. You have no idea how much that would help. It by itself causes you no harm whatsoever, and for me, it directly doesn't do anything, but that increased number, that boost, that change, that can make all the difference between why I've still, to this day, not had the algorithm ever do me any favors, still holding me back, to suddenly I could have that one video. It could be this video. Anyway, Omloop Het Nieuwsblad, we're through the easier portions, and we already have a much smaller Peloton, just 85 riders, but we're hitting the difficult bit right now. 4 sections coming up in the next little bit. This one on an incline. We have got to drastically up what we're doing right here, right now. Monotoglu is already tired. Let's go ahead and use his gel. Wykankis on a -3. Use his gel. I have 2 riders on Fitness Peaks. Another one with favorite race or something like that. I should have a +5. I have a single rider with a +2. I have 2 zeros and a bunch of -2s or worse. That didn't do me any favors either, but we push on, we get through it. We see a small split just ahead of this group, but I do think this group anyway, these 43, should regain contact with the 25 as they are very, very close. That was the hard bit because that was also uphill, but again, riders are going to go backwards, splits are going to happen, and it's going to be really hard to cover those off. Monotoglu, Wykankis is done. He is not going to be getting back up there, I don't think. Monotoglu's absolutely done. Telford and Reykjavik should be this far back. Must have been caught behind somebody, but they're recovering. We now have 49 chasing a single rider at the front. And we will reorganize here shortly because at the moment there's only a single protected rider. There's one more cobbled section coming up, and we're about to hit it, and it's long. So here's what we're going to do. Total change of pace for a moment. Let's get sprinters on the back of the cobbled guys. Get the cobbled guys to try to pull us through. Reykjavik is only going to last a moment, so we'll send him out immediately. Alves Machado, go ahead and get on the back end of this. Alright, Reykjavik gets us out front. Telford makes it up front. Now we don't need to go flat out now, as we've got a 78 cobble rating, a 76 cobble rating. The other guys, it's okay if they don't have the red bar. We just need to make sure they do not get dropped.
It seems to be catching.
Okay, there's your next group out. 33 now. Alves Machado doesn't have much left. Guillaume, oh. Jorgensen, thank you for taking over for Telford. Telford with a flat. Good thing he is not the sprinter. And we're down to 26. Telford is dropped.
It's a good moment to show the team colors.
All right. Let's get some recovery going for those three. We do not want to suddenly blow up, but this could be hard for Telford. Okay, you're in a chase group of 11. Just go ahead and stay there. They might get back. There's plenty of time to get back up there. If I can get some recovery in Guillaume and Alves Machado, we are not the ones to chase this down at the moment. Okay, this is turning into a full-on attack, and if we don't go right now, that group goes away from us. Okay.
Only 15 kilometers left. Another flat tire.
Here's the next one.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
Okay, they sit up again. Guillaume lost the wheel. He's recovering. These late attacks are trying to split the field up. These are the guys with stamina trying to go clear, where these guys can't really cover much off. Telford, he's done. Those accelerations are too much. Here's the next one. We're about to miss the split. We did miss the split somehow, half a bike length.
Only 10
And
kilometers
we're going to end up pulling that whole group back in. There we go. 4 riders are up the road just a little bit. Jorgensen, use your gel. 8.9k. One more cobbled section. Very, very short, but it is going to do some damage. And we do not have much energy for the final bit. And we are too far back at the moment. We really need to start scooting up. Jorgensen, now's your time. There we go, to the front. That's good. Don't be the one to chase that back, though, because we just don't have the energy to do that. 5k to go. Why are you dropping all the way back here? These guys aren't doing anything to have you be back there. 5k to go. Those 4, I think, are going to stay away at this point.
And here are the dreaded cobblestones. I know several riders who would prefer to be at home in front of the telly.
Okay, how are we looking? 4k to go. Jorgensen is done. You cannot be going crazy hard here. You got to lead out Alves Machado slightly. 4 riders still off the front.
There goes the
Alves
sprint.
Machado.
The strong men are giving their all.
900 meters. He's going to run out of energy, I think, before the line. He is. So just ease off. Try to finish it off. Wout van Aert for the win. Ahead of Van der Poel. Betty Hall and Pollitt. 3 best in that group of 4. So close to a top 10. Race doesn't matter, but we just did not have energy left. Dang, he was only 18th. Oof. He ended up at the back of the entire group. How did you do that, Alves Machado? I saved you some energy. You were 100 meters away, and you were about 5th in the group of a dozen riders. And he ended up a bike length behind every single one of them. That's pretty rough that we ended up that close to the end and could not manage any amount of energy conservation while everybody else apparently was able to. That hurt. Not matter. Does not matter. That the race itself was unimportant. Not a sponsor objective. It was just, it's Omloop Het Nieuwsblad, you know. We try to do something. But we are still not built for classics. Still. Telford, Jorgensen are the only ones that are. And neither one of them has any capability in sprint. So you can hope for a top 10 from them if everybody rode for them. But they're never going to win a sprint. So they would have been in the same place Alves Machado was there at the end if we were riding for them instead of the other way around. Meanwhile, we've got some good sprinters that can almost get by on cobbles, depending on what the race is. Gio, I have hope for Gio, but he needs a level or two. We've moved on to Paris-Nice. Our objective here is to win a stage. I have another objective that's going to be coinciding with this race, Treno Adriatico. So 2 races going back to back, both objectives. So we've brought 2 separate teams, both needing stage wins. This one has 3 sprint stages. That one has 3 or 4 punchy stages. So we're sending that team to this one, to that one, and we're sending the sprint team here for this one. So now with 18 kilometers to go, my sprinters are going to line it up, and we're going to try to get a sprint. By the way, for maybe the first time ever with this team, I never have a rider in the top 10 favorites. Reykjavik with his 79-77, 10th favorite, 1 star, last one on the list, but a favorite. Or is that 12th on the list? I don't know. Anyway, he is on the list, so hooray, 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 hooray. We got somebody on the favorites list. Last place. But we have a good sprint team. Not necessarily the individual sprinter, certainly not the best. It's hard to get a result. But combined, we might be able to do something. So, Reykjavik is the obvious choice. He's on a 0 race day condition, but all around us, much better than what we saw for Omloop het Nieuwsblad. Jorgensen +5. Where was this the other day? Because we absolutely would have ridden for him with an 81 cobble rating. He would have had plenty of energy there at the finish and easily could have been in the group at the front. When they attacked, he could have gone with them. All right. Germain's looking really good today with a 75-80. Machado has a 78-78. Gio, yeah, he's okay. He'll be an early lead out. Then Amanatoglu, his usual weak self with low resistance, but is otherwise good. So, 75-80 looks like a fantastic lead out for me. 78-78 ahead of that. Those guys are going to be quick. Still 15 kilometers to go, so we don't have to push too hard. But the harder we make this run up to the finish, the more tired you're going to see some of those guys be and not have the support. Jorgensen, there we go. Help him find a way through. Brings the team forward. And Telford can start pushing clear. We're already down to 11 kilometers, so that's taken 4 kilometers just to come up front. Toynes and Pollitt working hard at the front. Laporte, Lass, Van Wilder. There's Zeta. How's he looking these days, by the way?
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front.
Berto Zeta, 79 cobble, 83 flat, 74 mountain, 77 hills. Man, oh man, I would love to have him back on our team. 7K to go. Holy cow, we're already down to it. Speed up. Let's go, Telford. Let's go, Telford. 6K to go, everybody.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Get rid of the toe. 3.5. 3K, we're going a little early. He's not doing any damage to anyone behind him. Gio, 2.5. Let's go, let's go. He's the one who's going to start doing some damage because he's really quick. But all the way through his sprint, all the way through his sprint, all the way through his sprint, and finally into his sprint. No stage win here. We're just not fast enough. Penhope, Thorogood, Groves, Germain gets 6th, Amanatoglu gets 7th, Alves Machado gets 9th. I get 3 guys in the top 10, but there are just too many sprinters here that are well over 80 plus. That is not quite the sprint that I was hoping or looking for.
And just in case you missed them,
Telford never quite got us out front and didn't get us through that normal progression of riders. The field has multiple 82, 83 sprint riders. and it's just chock full of 80 plus sprint riders. So it's going to be really, really difficult if we are side by side. Even with Reykjavik, it's going to be really difficult to beat any of them.
Left.
Made more difficult by the fact that Reykjavik has -2 today. And the best support rider, the only ones with positive in the sprint category, Gio, is just way too far down the list. I mean, even here, he's a 76-74. Not bad. But that still puts him on the weaker end. So we're lacking top end on our sprint today. The only way we are going to win this sprint is if we are out front and we are pressuring the others to go too early and not have a lead out and fade, because we are never going to beat them head to head, side by side. So we've got to be out front. So we're going to play this one a little bit old school in that aggressive, go early. Last time I waited too long to try to have a go, and by the time we had that go, and by the time we were starting that sprint, well, Gio especially damaged the guys behind him. He should be the one out front just leading the way, plowing, and only sprinting late on and giving that short burst. So we'll see what we can do this time if it's a little bit better. Telford, Jorgensen, it's still going to be German and Gio. German not a big plus this time, so let's get the better flat German does. We'll get German on the flat and then save Gio for the sprint part. Reykjavik is still our best option. His sprint is unaffected, but lower resistance is going to hurt. Now, we don't have to get crazy early on. Not while we're setting up, but once we get out front, we really need to speed up. And we're already starting to find a little bit of a gap here, but it's 14K to go. Wait a little bit longer. See how much stronger Sunweb is. Jorgensen now into position. Right, and we're out front, and we're down to 12K, so we're going to speed up a bit. Jorgensen, Gel. 11K to go. There is a little hill on this one, so this is going to impact things on the way to the finish.
The finish line is getting close.
Not a big hill, but it is going to have an impact, especially the downhill part of it. If you're going 99...
While the pack
Jorgensen,
is getting close
we'll
to
go
the finish
97,
line, everybody
9K to
seems
go.
to agree that the stage will be
Come on,
won in
Gel.
a sprint.
Telford, try to get onto the back. Break this toe. Here's the hill. It's only 2.7. It's not big. 98. There you go. There you go. Pull the group. Pull the group. And then we're going to attack the descent. German. That's onto you, buddy.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
Now we're out front. Now we're pushing. You can see Sunweb trying really hard to get up there, but we're down to 3K. So this is our time to go, and we've already got that advantage. Gio, Alves Machado.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
1.6. What's going on? Oh, come on. Alves Machado, where's your sprint? Reykjavik. You can see how a lot of guys are fading, but not everybody. Reykjavik beats most of the field. He's going to get... He's a whole head ahead of Caden Groves there. How did he only get third? He gets a podium. It's better than nothing. He was a full head beyond Caden Groves. I mean, that was, didn't look that close. Not sure how he lost the lunge to the line on that one, but he did. Apparently. Supposedly. Van Aert was coming on hard and fast late on, but there was only one guy still going full bore. The others had let up. So we came through, but look how far back we had to come from. Now, we did force them to go early, and that did help us. From that angle, Groves does look ahead. From the other, it must have been, he's taller. Tirreno Adriatico got underway with a team time trial, but we didn't take any time trialists to that race. We're not focused on the GC.
breakaway in the
group
leading
lost a
group.
minute. Now, back to Paris-Nice. Another sprint stage. There are more opportunities, but I'm really starting to not favor our chances terribly well.
There's a
This is
sustained
one of
rhythm at the
those
moment. Some
slightly
riders
good
definitely won't be
opportunities
able to
because
keep up.
the sprinters just spent a lot of energy right there going for the points classification. So if we continue hard, they're going to be a bit tired and not have anything left in the tank. Or at least they'll have less left in the tank. So even though we're 21 kilometers away, I think it's a good opportunity to maybe get something on the go. Unfortunately, again, if we had no luck, we'd be better off than we are, because we've had bad luck. We've had very bad luck. Where's Telford? It's not any better. I'm going to go 99 initially because Jorgensen, these guys are all going to drop back to get behind him. And he needs to be pushing hard now that he's out front. Now we back off a bit. Okay, the sprinters have been caught. Not worried about the points classification. I'm trying to get a stage win. We never win the points jersey anyway compared to these guys. So 18k to go. We want to push. Make life difficult on that chase group. Don't let them get reorganized. Don't let them get recovered. That's the idea. Now 16 kilometers. So still a ways out. Moffat's still ahead.
Kilometers left.
Okay, we're seeing a harder chase now, so we're going to speed up just a little bit more.
Some
And
team
that's it
managers
there.
mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased
Go
its
ahead and
speed.
take position at the back of the group.
The pack is back on level
And
terms
that's
with
it
the breakaway
for
group.
the group. And now we've got one slight hill coming up in just a moment. And then a fairly gentle downhill slope to the finish. So position is going to matter a bit more today. With that, it's going to be harder to overtake riders. That's a good thing for us. Approaching the top. Going to get Gio
There's now
ready.
just 10
10k
kilometers
to go.
left.
And coming up top is right here at the intersection. Okay, on to Gio. Start pushing for the downhill.
The sprinters are
9k to
positioning
go.
themselves up front. It'll probably be a mass sprint
Telford.
finish.
Try to get onto the back. Gio. There we go. 7k to go. Get Germain's gel. Still all 161 riders in the Peloton. You can see just how little energy we are losing. 5k to go.
The riders are
That should
entering
be
the
gel
last
for
5 kilometers
everybody.
of the stage.
4k to go and downhill. So Germain, sprint. Don't let these guys come back at you.
Wow, that's one attack that's going to leave a good few in its wake.
Okay, 2k to go.
And the
So
final
Germain
sprint
gave
is
us
off.
2
Who's
full
gonna be the first of
kilometers.
the
I'm
line
on a
today?
Toglu. Come
Fall
on
in the
now.
pack.
Come on now. And finally, Reykjavik. These guys are just too dang quick. Oh, there's a little uphill swing. You don't see that on the map. It's
He
insane
really
how
had to
that's
fight for that one.
off on
A
art.
great sprint finish.
Finison. Absalonson. Theo Daly's 5th. I mean, Cockard. This is the first time we've even seen him in the top 10. That's how good this field is. That he's out of sight, out of mind. Penhote only took 13th behind Reykjavik in 12th. This race is just loaded with
We're waiting for
very,
the
very
tail-enders who
quick
continue
riders.
to
It's
arrive.
really, really hard to break into the top of the order. We do what we can, but I just don't think we're going to get much
And
better
here
than that
are a
third
few of the
place
key
we managed
moments.
on the previous stage. All right, well, we're over halfway through Paris-Nice now. Tirreno Adriatico underway. That's got plenty of punchy stages, though, so we'll have some opportunities there. We're running out of opportunities here because majority of the stages that are left, I think 3 out of 4, are punchy, so we will not be participating in those ones. So, not sure we're going to do too well with Paris-Nice, but at least we got a podium. It's better than nothing. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.